welcome back, everybody, to the Sharpshooters Podcast. I'm your humble and gracious host, Mr. Brinsky. Sharp on the ones, twos, threes, fours, five, six, all that good stuff, man. Happy to be back in the house with some of my two favorite people in the world. My main man, Coach Al, who hadn't been on in a minute,
What's up, y'all?
and
How y'all doing?
my other guy. And this is HBCU night. I ain't even realized that we
Hello.
got Skeegan, we got Jackson State, and we got A&M.
Yeah,
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
yeah,
You get the flavor of the South.
that's
And
right.
out of all these bands, we probably at the bottom. No, ain't no problem. We at the bottom right now. Y'all bands be showing out, man. But my main man,
Tuskegee got that name though, boy.
Got that name.
Tuskegee, as we call it, got that name,
Eagle.
bro.
Right.
we'll take the name right now, man. We need to get our band together, man.
Yeah.
But the band director getting it right, man. Shout out to everybody that's coming in. Make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you comment. We want to hear from everybody. But we're gonna get this show started, man. And the first thing we're gonna talk about is these position battles. It's so many with being the second week of spring practice. Guys took the week off because of spring break and all that. So we're gonna see how everything goes this cycle. Got the quarterbacks, we got I think running back is good. We already know who's gonna be number one, wide receiver, O line. So where you guys want to start? We can start anywhere you want to go.
What you thinking, Coach Al?
I, I I gotta go with them big boys up front, man.
Yes,
O-line.
sir.
Okay. That's what I heard. Okay,
I
that's
mean,
perfect.
I'm a bread and butter kind of guy. And yeah, I'm a bread and butter kind of guy, and I, we got some open slots up there. We got to fill with Book and them guys leaving. I think that it's going to be critical. We've seen the last few years where O line play has been a little spotty. Been hit or miss, not consistently dominant to my liking. We need 3 yards. They know we need 3 yards. We can't get 3 yards. You know,
Yeah.
and I like to see us get back to the place where we can bleed the clock out if we want to with the running game, and that takes a team's heart when they know you're going to run the ball and you can't stop it.
Facts.
We need to get back to that kind of physicality. Now I don't care if we throw the ball around. However, the team need to know that we're going to try to get some space up front. And you can't do that pass blocking. You do that by driving people off the ball. So
That's a fact.
yeah, and a lot of attention gonna get focused on the right tackle. All right, obviously, with Wilkin probably the guy who's probably got a heads up on that. So I like to see him get challenged and get pushed because now Pritch is gone. He don't have to have Pritch looking over his back.
So the facts.
This is his year if he's going to be that guy to show up. All right. I'd also like to see Rock Montgomery
Facts.
get some looks at left guard.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him either be that swing guy. Vandermark is going to be in the mix. I think what's his guy Dewberry? I think he's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be some good competition in there. Some of these, Illinois, Klaus, I forget his name. He's in there.
Olaf. Yeah.
Casey Poe in there. William Sanders.
Yeah.
I like the talent. William Sanders is what's the name called him out? Book said that guy going. But go back and look at his film. Coming out of high school, the guy's a road grader. He's a true right guard. Okay, and I think he's the kind of guy that maybe we don't want to overlook. So I like to start right there with the O line. I think there'll be some good battles up there. I think Proctor's not in the spring, right? He's out for the spring, right?
Yeah, I think he hurt. I think he was he they said he could go, but they just gonna hold him out I think they're gonna hold him out of the actual spring game.
What is he still dealing with? I think it was a shoulder.
I don't know what the injury
I really
was.
never knew what the injury, why they was holding him out. That's why I was asking.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I like to see some guys, get some looks, out there, get some reps, just so we can see who the top 7 or 8 guys are. Because in the SEC, you got to have good 7 or 8 guys, and also backup center um, to Brailsford. I mean, we're ankle injury away from having arguably the top center in the country out. And now, the play caller up front, who's going to be the guy to replace him? Got to start grooming some guys because he's going to draft next year. You know,
Yeah,
uh,
that's important.
yeah.
Facts.
So that's what I think, Coach. I think that the right tackle, obviously, I really would like to see some competition at left guard. Uh, and Rock Montgomery proved last year that he could actually play. He can be a physical guy. He seems to be a little bit more vocal this year in terms of he's been stepping up in some of the shows and talking about leadership and being on time and you know pulling your pants up and all that stuff like that. He's talking about accountability, so that means he's taking this deadly serious. Let's see if
Facts.
he can back that up with his play on the field. Right? I love to see that. Uh, you know, I like to see our boy get healthy. Roberts. I like to see him get healthy and have a really good spring and really learn the offense. Okay. Uh,
Facts.
you know, it's key when guys are playing O line. Communication is absolutely a must.
Oh
Yep.
Okay.
yes.
And in terms of, you know, what basic assignments you got. If you're running zone, whether you're running pin and pull, whether you're running power, there's some basic responsibilities that that you got to have, and it's got to be on the fly sometimes because defense can move around.
Yep.
Okay, so the guy playing next to you, and the guy on either side of you, you got to have that chemistry to know, okay, who's got this basic gap down backer kind of stuff,
That's a fact.
concepts, what kind of call are you going to make if a guy he's a 2 eye, all of a sudden he bumps out
I say
to a
bumps out.
3,
Yeah. Yeah.
what you going to do now? Some people call it king and queen, Jack and Jill, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
How you going to handle that? Uh, I like to see all that stuff. Spring.
I'm right there with you, coach. I'm right there with you, man. Dwight, I appreciate you, bro. I was just typing that, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to our brother, Coach Carl. Good to see you, Coach Carl, man. Dwight and Double L, Larry Lodge,
Lay
and
in there. Let me
yeah,
pull it up, man. Shoot.
and big homie Ready Rock in there, man. Good to see all the broskies, man. Good to see all the broskies. I appreciate y'all. We all appreciate y'all.
That's right,
Um,
100%.
Love to see my brother Coach Al back with us, man. Been missing
Yeah,
Coach Al, missing all my broskies. I'm right there with you, Coach. I agree with you,
yeah.
man. Parker Brailsford, this kid should automatically be, I believe, the best center in the country.
I think
We got
so.
a young kid from good Lord, his name was Arkale
Oh
Anugwon.
yeah, yeah. He came in from Ball State, right?
Yeah, big old rascal that can
Yeah,
move too. I mean, he
yeah,
can move. Good
yeah.
foot, good foot, good feet,
He's
real
kind of
good
raw,
feet.
but you're right. He's
Kind
a
of raw,
powerful man.
yeah,
He's a
yeah,
powerful
big
man.
power,
Yeah.
man.
Hmm.
Good side, long arms, man.
Right.
Really like this kid. And Coach Al been high on this other kid I'm going to talk about since last year, Casey Poe.
Case
Casey
Poe.
Poe.
Hmm.
This kid's gonna force his way, man. It's gonna force his
Hmm.
way. I appreciate you, my brother.
Yeah.
Um, Freshman Michael Carroll, this kid is gonna come in and bully somebody. That kid is ferocious. Remind me a lot of DJ Fluker coming out of high school.
Oh
How
yeah.
remember how
Woo.
just
Oh yeah.
DJ used to do people dirty, man.
Yeah.
So Michael Carroll really reminds me of DJ, how aggressive he is in the run game. That kid is the full meaning of to the whistle, you know.
That's right. He
Uh,
is.
yeah,
He is.
he
Yeah.
he go to the whistle, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Cam Dewberry, this kid is a
Oh,
big kid. He a mover. He's a
yes,
people
sir.
mover, right? Um, Jackson Lloyd, who I talked about over a
Jackson
year
Lloyd.
ago,
Right.
really good athlete. One of those lean tackles, coach, just long, about
Hmm.
280, 290, but really good feet, good athletic kid that can play
Athletic
in
kind of guy.
space.
Yeah. He's a left tackle
Facts,
kind of
man.
guy.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
if he could just get some strength that he can anchor down,
exactly.
he won't. The speed rushes in the SEC. They're gonna throw speed at you.
Yeah,
You can't handle
I
it.
think when he gonna be the
big
one
time.
that they sit down for him it's no rush for him to play. He just gonna put on that weight or whatnot and go through that program because y'all already know better than me that offensive lineman be the hardest for them to transition.
Oh
Because
man,
they gotta get that weight up and strength up and all that, and the quickness of it. Like Caden Proctor had to realize that his freshman year. But I
right.
think we gained a lot of depth on this O line for real.
And look,
Yeah.
don't look now, but guess who your most experienced lineman is? Caden Proctor.
Yep.
That
How about that?
Caden has started probably
30 games?
20 games, 18,
Yeah.
19 games at
But
Alabama.
it's coming in year. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You know,
Yep.
this
Right.
kid is experienced, man. I look
Right.
for Caden to have a big year this year, man. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I
So,
really
Coach,
do.
I'm with you. I really would like to see him work with his hands a little bit better,
Yeah.
and basically with his footwork a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? He has a
Fact.
strength. He's a massive man, but
Yes.
out there you got to be more of a technician than anything, because those guys on the edge, man, they go out to a 9, okay, and you got to sit. You can't just sit and open it up. You know they'll
Facts.
they'll, they'll double move you and they'll do that speed to power. Next thing you know, you're sitting on your butt.
You said,
So it's
yep.
about technique and setting guys up and hitting the hands punched in the right place. Uh, Real nuanced, but a big, strong, powerful guy like Proctor. He's a naturally strong guy. So
Yeah.
once he gets his hands on you as a speed rusher, he knock you off your speed. Then he got you where you want to, as long as his feet are
Facts.
working together with it. So I'd like to see him take the off season and maybe drop another 5 or 10 pounds and translate that into a little bit more speed and agility. But experience, you're right. He knows the speed of the game in the SEC.
Yes.
He knows what it takes to be successful.
Let me let some folks know because I walked away, man. I'm so sorry, everybody. Larry Large, what's going on, man?
Larry Large.
Double L, double
Appreciate y'all
L.
in the
Yeah,
chat.
boy.
Big Bama Brand, what's going on, brother? I love
Ready,
that profile
Yeah.
picture.
ready, rock, ready, rock.
Got to show them
Large
off.
in the house.
I got Dwight in the house. I got. Oh, you
Yeah.
already know I got for real, Coach Carl.
What's Carl? What's up, boy?
Brother, what's going on? Who else is here? Trappanel, what's going on, brother? You already know.
Trappanel.
Yep.
Brinsky. I believe you popped off.
Yep.
Brinsky
Yep.
popped
So
himself off.
have you heard what the format's going to be on A-Day, Coach?
I heard it's gonna be different, man. But I hadn't heard exactly how they're gonna do it, Coach Al. I don't really know, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I don't know what just happened.
Janet.
Oh, man.
Janet's in the house, man. TJ
Janet.
in the house.
Brian, what's going on, brother? I'm
BT,
sorry.
BT.
BT.
What's going
JB,
on?
JB in there too.
Janet in the house.
JB's up in here.
JB in there, man.
What?
JB,
Y'all already know who
TJ.
it is.
Yes, sir.
JB in the house. Appreciate y'all coming.
Facts.
Y'all
Facts,
know.
man.
I need y'all to like these comments up. Let us
Yeah.
know if we wrong, what y'all feeling. We talking about the O-line right now, and of course, Coach Carl. I say Coach Carl. We need you up here too, Coach Carl, if you want. Coach Al and Coach Sean already cooking early. And we ain't even been in here 15 minutes and they already cooking. We just started with the O-line. And so we expect big things. We expect big things out of Caden Proctor this year. So, hey, man, ain't no telling what he
Big
can do.
stat about Caden Proctor. This kid, his freshman season was tied for giving up the most sacks in the Division I with 12. He cut it down to 5 last year.
Yeah.
So he, and it came against the better competition.
That's right.
And it wasn't like the guys that was beating him was scrubs. These dudes were the kid from Michigan who gave him all that problems. Them kids were older, talented guys, man. And I look for Caden going into his junior season to be in New York at the end of the season for one of those offensive lineman awards. For one of those, I do, man. I think he's gonna have a great season this year.
Like that.
Hey, I'm with you, Coach. I'm gonna tell you something. Think about this for a second. Proctor did that, and we had less than stellar guys as his coach.
Exactly.
As his coach. Concepts, the coach. So now he got Grubbs there. who's going to spend a lot of time in the O-line room with Coach Cap. Okay. Now you got an offensive coordinator who's going to be holding those guys accountable
Yes, sir.
on, in the offense. And not to mention experience, you just can't replace experience. Proctor has a ton of experience.
Yes.
He knows what it takes to be successful in the SEC. So talent was never an issue with him.
Yeah.
I think that at an SEC level, he can play left tackle. Okay. But if you want to talk about projecting him up to the next level, he's really going to have to demonstrate that he can handle speed rushes as a left tackle to stay over there at the next level.
That's a fact.
And you one of the main guys that really pointed that out. And I believe shout out to Jans. Jans was another one saying basically the same thing that you were saying. Like, yeah, he may have to push in the guard when he goes to the next level.
Go to right tackle.
Yeah. I think one thing that I love that I've seen from him this all season, you can tell that he's slimmed down, but he's still a little muscular. I just want to see him move
he's a
with
big
that.
Dude.
Yeah.
And he's you can tell like in some of the videos that he's taking ownership of the practice. Like he's one of the leaders in the locker room. And you can tell Tyler Booker taught him well, like, hey man, I'm gonna be gone. It's time for you to step
it's
up.
Time. Yeah.
That's right.
Like you already know, man. Like continue this on, but you gotta really be the leader out here. So I like what you said, Coach Sean, with him going up to New York or they be in Orlando for the Outland Trophy and all that. I expect big things from him this year, so we can only hope because we need him to be our best because he's playing the most important position on that offensive line.
Yeah, we're going to have Remington Award winner too,
That's a fact. That Remington
Award winner too, now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that Parker Breakfast could possibly win that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That kid was 6'7", 388, and he's 6'7", 362. So, that might be about as much as he gonna lose.
He's just a big guy, man.
Yeah, I walked by him at A-Day, man. That kid is he's not fat. He's just big old hands. I mean, man.
Big feet.
I thought Evan Neal was big. Evan Neal might have been an inch taller, but just thick chested and legs.
Yeah, barrel chested kind of dude, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Just huge brother. Huge brother. Remind me a lot of Jordan Mailata for the Eagles. Real big dude.
Yeah.
About the same size, about 6'7", 360.
If you play anything like Jordan Mailata, we in good hands.
Yes, sir.
Jordan Mailata plays nasty.
Yeah.
He plays real nasty. And I think one of the comments what Brian was saying, the main concern is who won it the most and going to be the nastiest in the trenches. That's what I want. I want somebody just straight dog.
Yeah.
So, that's a place where they take no plays off right there in them trenches.
You guys may be a little young, maybe. Remember Chance Warmack?
Yeah, man, big number 6, big 65. You had that big old belly out.
At guard, man, he had his shirt cut up halfway. He thought he was
Look, I challenge everybody to go watch that Notre Dame game when Bama came out. Man, Notre Dame was just standing there watching them. Chance them come through there, going womp womp. Him and DJ Fluke and them. Man, them boys was just.
Man, that was a lie. They had Bear Jones, Chance Womack,
had Shank on there. Remember Big Shank?
Yeah, Big Shank. And look, run blocking.
Alphonse
Taylor was a monster, bro.
Yes, sir. Now we're talking Alabama
football. Let's go. That's a lie right there. That's why they was cutting loose against Notre Dame the way they was.
God, they was physical, man. They was physical. They was big.
Yeah. With Jordan's murder ball.
Murder ball. Eddie Lacy said he ain't had holes like he hadn't. He hadn't holes like that since he left Alabama, man.
Exactly.
KT.
Yeah. Oh, we got Anitra in the house. What's going on? How you doing?
Yeah.
Of course, Miss Janet.
Auntie Janet.
KT, what's going on, girl? Appreciate y'all coming in here. Oh, y'all about to start the party, man. Y'all,
that's right.
We just get started. We ain't even touched nothing. We just talking about the old line. Appreciate y'all coming in here. Make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button. Also, I'm make sure I drop Coach Sean channel in there. Y'all make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Please go over there, support. And we're gonna move on to the next position, because I think we tackled for the most part O-line.
Yep.
What other part? Y'all, we can go anywhere y'all want to go. It doesn't matter which position, because we could go on and on all day about it.
I say wide receiver.
Oh, here we go.
Here's my question to you though, Coach Al. The same one I posed to Brinsky earlier. And shout out to my girl KT, man. So glad to see her in here, man. KT, it's my partner. She prayed for my fam, man. Good love KT to death, man. It's my homie for sure. Anitra, good to see you too as well. Bino in here, Double L, everybody, man. Shout out to JB. Thank y'all for tapping in with the broski, man. For me, my question to you, Coach Al and Brinsky, is who is going to be? Now, before you ask, we know Jeremy Bernard. We know Ryan Williams, right? Next, you got Isaiah Horton. You got Cole Adams. You got Latsier Brooks, who was Ty Hayes' favorite. You got Derek Meadows, Jalen Hale, Jalen Mbakwe, and Rico Scott. Who is going to be that third receiver?
And before you go to Coach Al. Now I'm so glad that third spot is up in the air. Now, when I posted the clips on the TikTok, shout out to Coach Sean going viral, got the most views on the TikTok. Make sure y'all show love to the TikTok. Somebody in the comments said the Rydeouts 2.0. And I said, I don't know. So right after you answer who is wide receiver 3 on the depth chart, Coach Al, do you agree with that?
100%. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. Because when we had the Rydeouts, we had a guy that was the leader of the Rydeouts, the coach.
Facts.
We got Coach Shep. Now he gonna demand excellence out of these guys.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And see, Ryan has that dog in it. Okay. And Jerry Bernard does too. Okay. So they gonna hold you accountable. They were the only two guys Coach Shep said was taking notes.
Yeah.
So now they setting the whole standard. And Jalen Hale was sitting on the sideline last year watching all that madness. Don't you think he's chomping at the bit to get out there? Especially when he can play as a freshman for Nick. He got on the field, play as a freshman for Nick, and making plays. Okay. Which means that he was doing a lot of stuff right. So he's my guy. If you want to go there for the third guy. Now, he don't play in the slot too tough, but he's going to be a rotational guy. They're going to work him back in. Okay. But as far as the guy, his yards per catch down the field is what we're going to be looking for him. He's going to play a certain role to stretch the field to keep them safeties from coming over the top on Ryan and get Ryan a lot more one-on-one opportunities. You probably see Ryan move a lot more too this year because he got another year in the offense. But I won't get into all of that. You asked me who was number 3. Sorry, man.
So you say Jeremy Bernard?
No. Jeremy Bernard and
Ryan
Williams is going to be 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. A lot of people say Horton is going to be the guy because, he looks the part. Okay. He has experience.
Yeah.
I just like our room, frankly. It's going to be, I don't think it's going to be a third guy. I think it's going to be a 2A, a 3A, a 3B, depending on if they're in empty. It depends on what they're in.
Yeah.
It depends on what the game plan calls for. So everybody want to eat. And I think you'll probably have 4 or 5 guys that'll catch in excess of 30 balls.
Facts. Because I think Isaiah Horton, when I watched him, there could be film out there. Just the few times I watched that kid, he was playing the X.
Yes, so, that's right. He was. That's what I saw.
Right. And so that's going to be, Ryan may possibly, it's just going to be really, really strange to see how they do it. It's going to be really, 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 really interesting.
Hey, Coach, I'm sorry cutting you off, man.
No, you're good. You're good, bro.
Let me tell you one thing that's going to be a huge benefit to the wide receivers this year, insofar as see Grubb already had this pedigree of being an offensive guy at the college level, proven, but he had a year in the NFL, and the NFL is all about matchups.
Oh yeah,
All right.
facts.
So he's going to bring that right into the room, right into create matchups, which we didn't see a lot last year, coach.
Right.
And the year before, we just did not see that. Now, I think you're going to see them attack a little bit different. They're going to be aggressive in the passing game this year. We're going to see more yak kind of
Yeah.
productivity out of our guys. Get them the ball on the run.
Get him the
We,
ball. Yeah.
we were calling
Facts.
for slants and hitches and rhythm kind of throws to get Miro. He could throw the short pass and the deep pass. So why not throw the short pass and the deep pass? We never
Right.
saw that a lot. So a whole facet of our offense we didn't get a chance to get into last year. I
Yeah.
think this year, you got a guy like Cole who could be that underneath guy, gritty in the middle. He's a tough guy. We got some guys in the room, man. Okay.
That's a
And
fact.
we got some guys. Yeah.
I like this kid. We know Latier Brooks is making his waves. This kid obviously is a freak of nature, small, but very Jalen Waddle-esque. This kid, when you really watch him
Yeah.
come out the hole in that stem, the kid is very, 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 very fluid, man.
Mm-hmm.
I like Bubba Hampton as well. The injury bug kind of hit him. People have sort of forgotten about Bubba Hampton, but I think once this pure, that short area quickness.
Yes, sir.
And listen, him and Latier, they got some kids that can make some plays, man. They got some kids that can make some plays. Shout out to Ted. What up, Ted? What's going on?
Here come the op. Here come the op. I got 6 games of eligibility, dog. You ain't about to be saving over here, sir. No, sir. We're good.
I look for if I had to pick one, because Latier is Ty's guy. I'm gonna go with Rico Scott. I know he played the X mostly last year when he played when Ryan would come out. When Ryan got tired, he come in. Rico Scott is a playmaker, man. This kid, he can catch. And what I like about him is he's not a 10-2 guy, but this kid can go up and get the ball. He fast enough. This kid understand routes. He understand how to set you up. And a lot of receivers don't understand it. We talk about it all the time, how attack the top of the route. We talk about that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Rico Scott is one that understands that, man. We just, for some reason, couldn't get him the ball. Shout out to Bishop. Big love, Bishop. So I'm excited about our wide receiver room. I really, really am.
Yeah.
We have a plethora of guys that could potentially come in and be there. And it's kind of like what Coach Al said. It just all depends on what set they're in. Ryan may be the X on this play. Ryan may be playing side the next play. Somebody else may come in and be the X. So it's just, I think all those kids are going to play in some fashion.
Exactly. One of the things I think what we'll see too is guys, especially speed guys like Lausier, moving. He's gonna be a move guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot like what Lane Kiffin was doing with the move guy. I think in this offense, you'll see a freshman like Lausier because we don't know what he knows about the tree. We don't know what he knows about really the art of route running from a position. You can't let him do every position. You got to master one position in the offense and learn exactly what the defense is doing versus what you're in that offense at. So to keep it simple for a guy, he'll be screens, he'll be pop passes, he'll be slants, he'll be that kind of stuff. It just depends on what set we're in. If we're 4 wide, we're 3 wide, how much run these guys get. But in terms of touches, you go and look at what Washington did. You want to use that as an analog. I think they probably had 4 guys at the receiver position with an excess of 30 receptions. And don't forget our tight end position too, because, we got a guy there that's going to be exceptional this year.
That's a fact.
And I think he'll get more than 30 touches because Grubb likes to throw the ball.
That's a fact. Tell you this as well.
Oh, go ahead.
Man, I lost my train of thought. I had some.
These
guys. Well, I'm sorry.
No, we were just talking, man. We were just talking production.
It was something I was gonna say. I forgot. Go ahead, Brisket.
We just keep chopping it up.
Oh no, it was just like real quick because I know you saying. Are you saying Rico Scott? I think you said Ty was saying
Latier.
And who you said?
I'm saying
Coach?
Jalen Hale. I like Jalen Hale's a deep
I
threat.
think
That's
I
what it
think
was.
I
That's
think
what it was.
A
I
pure deep
think
threat.
yeah, I think Jalen Hale too. But what I was gonna ask y'all, but I'm not sure. Do you think they can put Jalen out there on the outside and possibly put Ryan out there in the slot? Like they probably just move around slot and then put him to the outside.
I kind of like Bernard in the slot, and the reason I like him in the slot
Yeah.
because his physicality.
Okay.
He physical. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
want to
you
say
know,
that, coach. Yep.
yeah, he can post guys up. You know, he can run
Yep.
those smash routes and
Yep.
different things like that. He can run those little hook routes. You know, over the center of the field, and he just spot up and show him your numbers. And he can
Yep.
do those kind of things. And then two, with this offense, with the shallow cross and the drive concepts,
Hmm.
he'd be perfect for that. Man. Okay.
Yep.
And then you can get Horton and Hale on the outside.
Outside.
And
Yeah.
then what if you put Jared Bernard and Ryan in the slot? They gotta double one or the other. They can't double them both
Yeah.
in the slot. And you
That's a
got these
fact.
two burners on the outside. I don't know how you deal with that.
Yeah. And
I,
Jeremy will catch the ball going over the
that's
middle
what I'm
too.
saying. I
Physical
don't know how you
kid,
deal
man.
with that.
Yes, physical.
And
That's what I
those
was gonna say about Jalen.
yeah.
I wanted to say Jalen Hale, but I need to see the young man that he had a gruesome knee injury, man, or lower extremity injury, from what I read. I want to see I know how it is when you have those injuries. You sometimes you're physical, right? But you always thinking about it when you come back. Do you cut hard? In practice, you may be going 70%. When the game start, I can promise you that it's going that those cuts are going to be in his mind. It may take him a couple games to really, really, really have confidence in that knee, a couple of scrimmages, to really go out there and go hard to make sure it's okay. But I think that young kid, Jalen Hale, has as much talent as any receiver on the roster.
Yes, sir. I agree with that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with that.
that kid,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
healthy, this
right.
kid probably would have been
Yeah,
starting at Alabama.
yeah.
I think the injuries is the only thing that held him back, the only one.
I tell you something. What we saw last year, I know I was watching a ton of film of our games since the seasons ended, and consistently we were getting about 2.5 seconds to throw the ball. Okay, but consistently we had routes that were hitting at about 2.7.
Yeah,
Okay, so lots of times the quarterback, okay, doesn't have time to set because they're in his
yeah,
lap before the routes goes. So I think with Grubbs coming in, who understands that if the defense is a pressure kind of defense, if they're always bringing five guys, they're always running false pressures, and we're struggling to pick it up, I think Grubb is going to make the adjustment quicker to break the routes off, to run the quick game,
yeah.
so they can never get to the quarterback, and it'll frustrate the defense, and now they got to change it up a little bit. Okay,
Facts.
so that we'll have more time. So some of that stuff last year was a lot of what the play caller wasn't recognizing in game as to
Yeah,
what they were doing to us and made our offense look really inefficient. I think with Grubb coming in and with Sheridan they're doing now as his backup, so to speak, is seeing the game from a different perspective as the guy, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. I think we'll be a much better offensive team this year. Personnel all the way across the board, coaching staff, everything, man, across the board.
I think one of the things before we move on to defense was like, and it's one of the main positions. I had the stat for Jared Miller, how many times he ran the ball. I think he's about to double that this year.
Think
They're gonna
so?
run the ball with. I believe they're gonna run the ball with him. I believe this is gonna be his year, like because Jazz point out last week that we haven't had 1,000-yard rusher in 2 seasons,
That's right.
that's a
which is
fact.
which is which is not Alabama football at all because we are running back you for real.
Yeah,
And so, man, we definitely need to get Jam in the offense this year. We definitely going to see a lot of running this year, especially like take the pressure off Ty or whoever been the starting quarterback this year, just to get the pressure off them. I'm just gonna say Ty because I believe it's Ty.
yeah,
But get the pressure off Ty so he can be able to make plays. but you ain't got to have so much pressure on him trying to make plays because the running game is not making any plays. So you got to
I
use
can
your running backs.
I can tell you this: going into the Auburn game last year, 2 years ago, Jason McClellan had 180 carries going into the Auburn game. Going into the Auburn game last year, Justice and um, uh, Jam didn't have 180 combined.
Unacceptable.
It's a whole fact.
Unacceptable. And it's no way you can sum it up anyway. And that's why I believe a lot of those plays that Jalen was pulling the ball back to him, he should have gave those plays to those guys. Like, you already had a ball enough in your hand. Like, it was like I said, it was at one point of the season that they knew you wasn't giving it to the running backs, and they just started chasing after you. They weren't even worried about the running backs anymore because
Yeah,
they knew
facts.
you weren't gonna give it to them.
Yeah.
So we definitely
Oklahoma.
got to let them boys eat, man. That's what they do. Let them eat.
Yeah.
And I believe Richard Young is the perfect number 2 that can easily be the number 1. So once Jam come from back there, Richard Young is gonna cause some trouble.
Now, let's talk Draylon Washington for a minute.
Go ahead.
Okay. That's a name a lot of people not talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. But he done played a lot of football.
Yes.
Okay. And he's the kind of guy, he's a short, stocky guy, very powerful, explosive kind of guy. And he can catch the ball. All right. So Alabama typically has had 3 guys running the rock. Okay. I would like to see him show himself in the spring that he deserves to get some playing time because he transferred in. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he didn't transfer in to ride the pine. Yeah. Okay. So let's just kind of see what's going on with Draylon. Okay. Because I think he's going to bring something to the table this year that's going to surprise a lot of people. Okay.
Facts. He a thumper. He carried
Yeah,
about
he's a
220 pounds, by
That's what I'm
5'10".
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to tackle. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
So
of the things that and I hope that all the guys and everybody in the fan base needs to understand. I don't care what position it is on the field, from the quarterback to the O line to the running backs to the wide receivers to the D line to the linebackers, cornerback,
be
whatever.
right back. Be right back.
Yeah.
No, you good. Whatever position that it is, every position on that field is earned. Nobody
Yes.
should be given a position. Nobody.
Facts.
No
Facts.
Ryan, no Jalen Mbakwe, no Damani Jackson. Earn. If you are started, it's because you earned it. I don't care if this your senior year or if it's your freshman year. If you earn
Facts.
that position, you deserve to play.
That's the whole facts. I couldn't agree more with you. I think that's what creates a great team, is great competition. I think that's what the former Bama teams, all their predecessors, formed their identity and made them who they were, is the
Yep.
competition in practice. Marlon Humphrey going against Amari Cooper, Jedrick Wheels going against, whatever pass rusher was then, you know what I mean? Going against these top guys who are all first rounders, second rounders, who all are in the NFL now, going against great competition, man. I mean, I can remember Mark Ingram talking about going against Dante Hightower and Rolando McClain. I mean, great competition is what made those teams who they were. And, I hope the kids nowadays understand that. Nothing should be given to you. The practices should be harder than the games playing at Alabama. And that's what's going to make you who you are. That's what's going to make you a better player. If I'm Ryan Williams, put the best corner on the team on me every day. Devontae Smith used to call for Pat Surtain to get in front of him. He said it. He said, I want Surtain in front of me. I want Trayvon Diggs in front of me. Not Surtain, but Trayvon Diggs in front of him. He said, I used to want Trayvon Diggs in front of me. And you see what happened. You see what both of those kids are doing. And Trayvon coming off a horrible knee injury and still played well. So competition breeds it, man. Competition is what starts it off. it starts and ends with great competition. And if you're afraid of competition, then you most definitely should probably go somewhere else.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And one of the things, and I'm so glad that we talking about this, it's a small part, but it's something major. It's like when certain people be like, oh no, we gotta hurry up and rush him on the field because he made transfer. The thing that I love about Ty the most, that's why I felt like mentally he's there and
Yeah.
ready to be the starter, is because he sat there, he waited his turn, and now this is his shot to take over. If somebody is quit to leave because of somebody ahead of them, oh, I can't jump here, but I want to get on the field, just showcase what I can do. Just like Tyler Booker said last year when the season was over, if you think about transferring out, you need to think about it. Your grades going to transfer. And also, the main thing, the reason why you're here playing football, maybe you just wasn't good enough to get on the field. Maybe you need to work on that so you can get on the field. Some of you guys jump in that portal and never see the football field again. So you need to really think about that, man. So every position, I mean literally every position is earned, not given. So if anybody say we need to rush somebody to get on the field, I'm not a fan of that and never will be a fan of that. I just want to
go ask Mac Jones. Oh, go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
Well, remember all those guys that went to Florida State last year?
Yeah.
Yep.
Alabama guys that went to Florida State.
Full of.
But we didn't hear anything else about them.
Nothing.
I mean, they had a bad season, but if you send 4 or 5 guys there that say they should have been starters at Alabama, it seemed like to me that would have translated over to the team in better production, better leadership, everything. It should have been infectious. If you had 4 or 5 guys, I think there were 4 or 5 guys that went from Alabama to Florida State. Why did it transfer?
So
that's a fact.
You can't run from the smoke. One thing I like, you might well get used to it now because you want to go play on the big boy stage, which is the NFL. It's only 32 teams.
Yeah.
You can't run from the smoke forever. So when you get there, you can't do all that excuse my French, bitching and moaning because you ain't getting your way. So you might well just try to thug it out right here, try to get better. So when you get to the NFL, you prepare. Why you think all Nick Saban teams were prepared? Quentin Williams only played full time 1 year. It became the 3rd overall pick.
Exactly.
Matt Jones played one full.
Yeah.
Like he's playing guys.
That's what I was gonna say. Look, waiting don't always hurt you, bro. Look at Christian Barmore. Look at Matt Jones. Look at Josh Jacobs. These guys, people forget Josh was not the starter. Damian Harris was the starter. Kenyon Drake. Yeah, these kids, all day long, Rashawn Evans, these kids sat behind Mac Wilson and sat behind until it was their turn.
And you know what? Even Reuben Foster, man.
Reuben Foster,
Reuben Foster got one of the biggest hits on special teams. He was going out headhunting people on special teams. I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna show you I deserve to be on the field.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go out here and make plays wherever you put me on the field. I'm making plays with a punt return, kickoff return, kickoff. I'm making plays, and at Alabama, at a place like Alabama.
See what Janet said? Even the great King
Derrick Henry. That's right. Fact.
Had to wait. That is
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris. And they all paid off. Josh, people forget all the time, man. Josh is still doing his thing. Damian Harris was the starter. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Josh.
I throw a name to you, Dalvin Tomlinson.
Tomlinson. Yeah,
Dalvin
these
Tomlinson, kids. He's been in the league about 8 or 9 years. Oh, man. He wasn't a household name with Alabama.
No, he sat behind Deron and Jonathan Allen and all them boys. Yeah, Deshaun Hand, Ashawn Robinson, Jared Reed. So they don't understand, man. Keep switching. Look at the young kid who played for LSU, big 6'6" quarterback, who's been at LSU, Auburn, Texas State, and Western Kentucky.
TJ,
it's like brother, like, how does any of this help you? How does any of this help you? So I just I don't understand it, man. You know.
Hey man, the man said trust the process. You better trust that process.
Yeah.
I
But
think
one of
some of that is a different culture though today though. Really, these
the, yeah,
kids
Yeah, it
is just
is,
different. I
man.
think some of that's that. I think, and then then too, I think the whole deal with pay for play and how all that's going to come
Yeah.
out. You can see what Alabama has kind of done. We kept a lot of guys this year.
I
Okay.
believe because they have a system or like
Yeah.
we'll pay you if
Yeah.
you earn it.
If you produce.
Yeah.
And they show that the guys that do earn it, oh, I'm gonna give you something. And you know what that do? Everybody at the bottom be like, oh, if I earn it, they'll pay me. But if I come in and I already got it, I'm like, it's self-explanatory. Like,
Yeah.
just come in and earn it, it will pay you. But if you ain't producing, you already know it's just like work. It's you got to treat these kids like everyday employees because pretty much
That's
they
right.
employees.
You know
As
what
much as
is?
I hate to admit it, and our friend Noah's mom, you
Yeah,
know, okay, you know what they did? They paid their dues.
that's a fact.
They paid the guys on. We're talking about Ohio State, everybody. Y'all
Ohio
know
State,
what
yeah,
we're talking about. Yeah.
yeah.
They paid their guys. Okay, they had a few guys come in from the outside. We know some of them, famously, but
Yeah,
uh, but they paid their guys.
Yep.
They paid the guys that were there.
that's
I
a
mean,
fact.
they brought in Quishon, they brought in Agdu Downs, they brought in a quarterback Howard, but beyond that,
And look what paid off.
they got
That's a
they,
fact.
they got a ring.
That's the whole goal.
Yeah, right.
I
So
had a I had a conversation with a young kid here at TLC. We was taking therapy together a couple months ago, and I was telling him about what we learned in that essay in that student athlete compensation thing was leading you into NIL. I told a young kid, I know his daddy, so I ain't gonna mention his name, but I told the kid, I said, son, remember what I'm telling you. Yes, they're giving all these bags. Yes, you guys can make a little money before you play college ball. But I said, remember this, and I was told this by one of my coach Coach Reed. I love listening to Coach Reed talk.
Shout
Rich
out to
people,
Coach Reed.
rich people or wealthy people or whatever word you want to use who are donating and giving. These people are not into just giving money with no return. You understand what I'm saying? They're not into just giving you money with nothing in return. If you think that's not true, look no further than Jalen Rashada, the kid who started out in Florida. I think it's Jalen Rashada.
Yep.
yeah,
Um,
Jalen
follow
Rashada.
follow his story. These universities are not into giving money for nothing. If you cannot produce, don't produce, don't agree. It's going to be a whole fiasco, man. It's a whole fiasco when you're talking about these large sums of money. So I hope all these kids are doing their due diligence before, they go to reaching for the bag.
Yeah. And I know one of the guys that it's gonna be hard to keep him off the field his freshman year. And we could go to this position, which is my favorite position. It's the
DB.
quarterback position.
Yeah.
Coach Carr said it's going to be hard to keep Deshaun Lee off the field. That dude's a dude. And I'm like, hey, man, I always have a must. Well, it's just my must, who I want in the class the most. And I always had like at least three guys. He was one of them. Because I was like, bro, he's 6'4" and he can move. He's very physical. Hips ain't stiff. I was like, they were like, oh, they'll put him at safety in the long run. They was like, no, I'm a quarter. I am
Yeah.
a quarter. And I was like, man, just think about it, how big these wide receivers is in the NFL. He is going to be able to line up with them. And I think somebody said Tyreek Woolen is a great comp for him. I was like, man, if
hmm
he's everything like that, he's got a bright future. He got some Pro Bowls behind him already. And Pat is that big, but Pat ain't even that tall. Pat 6'2". This
Facts.
kid 6'4". That is crazy. Like his
Yeah.
length and his reach is gonna show a lot on that field. So since we already at that quarterback position, we pretty much know we shouldn't even spend too much time on that. But one position is gonna definitely be that Husky. So
That's a
what you
fact.
what you guys thinking on that Husky position? Because we pretty much know it's gonna be Xavier, and we know it's gonna be the
Deshaun
money.
Jones, maybe Deshaun Jones. You know, that Husky position is a different kind of position, man, because you got to have kids who, you know, that nickel defender, if you will. You know, Deshaun Jones, who else? Who else they got back there? Zay Mincy,
Red,
Bray Hubbard, you
Red,
know,
Red Morgan.
yeah, Red. The thing I worry about with Red is hopefully they work with him, on his it's like he stay in phase too long or something. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Coach Al? I
Yeah,
don't know if
yeah,
I don't think he's a pure corner, pure cover guy. He physical now. He will come up and try to knock your block off. That's a fact.
right, right.
But get him in coverage out there by himself. He seems like he's
Yeah,
staying phase too long, and he end up letting the receiver get on top of him, and which causes him some problems with the foot speed. Uh,
yeah,
maybe that'll get worked out. Kid get better, right? Because I think he can
yeah,
play. Just maybe some fundamental things. You know what I mean? And those few bumps in the road last year may help him, right? May help him this year. But it's going
yeah,
to be really, really, really interesting in who they put at that Husky position. I think that's a very important position too in this
yeah.
defense.
It
For
is,
sure.
man. Calhoun is another guy you want to put in there. That guy
Forgot
out of
about that young
Charleston.
man.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
He's got experience. I think with
Any a
Red,
dog. Any a dog.
that's what we're talking right there. See,
Mm-hmm.
that's who we want on the field. Uh, I think with Red Morgan, going back to Red, just don't think Red is the kind of guy that got that top end speed.
Top
You
end, yeah.
know what I mean? And so he can probably he's actually probably better playing at a safety, a pure safety
Pure
position,
safety, yeah, yeah.
than in the Husky, because you got to be able to short area quickness. You got to be
That's a
able to
fact.
redirect guys. You got to be he's physical enough, but you
Yeah,
also got to be able to chase those shallows across the
facts.
field, those crossing routes and defend those kinds of things.
Yes,
Because
sir.
especially if a guy, they got an option route, and you got to play leverage off of
Got to play
that,
leverage. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So that's what that recovery speed. In other words, break on the ball and close the speed. I
Facts.
think that's what Red suffers right there with his game. It's just not he's not that he's a bad player. I think there's some
Right.
physical limitations he has right there. At least that's what he showed last year. Some of that was inexperience too that can make
Facts.
the player half step slower.
Yes.
That, like you say, that year of experience might have helped him out to play faster
Yes.
mentally.
Because
Let's
he
say
got heart. He got
he
big
does it.
heart,
I like
man.
his game. I like that he showed as a true freshman step on the field in Tuscaloosa and say, "I belong
Yeah.
here." That
Yes, he
that, that
does.
you can't keep a guy like
Facts.
that off the field. Okay, as a
Yes, he
true
does.
right.
Yeah, and we got a good problem. We call those them good kind of problems
That's
to
good
have
kind.
Drake Kirkpatrick. Yeah, to have Drake Kirkpatrick, to
Dre,
have
yeah, I
Zay.
forgot about Dre, man. Yeah,
Yeah, and
he's
that kid,
another guy that's trying to prove he belongs. I
from what
deserve
I
to be
hear,
here.
yeah, that kid has put on some good weight. Kid has
Yeah,
gotten stronger.
wait.
Kid is his cover deep has gotten better. His range has
Mm-hmm.
gotten better. So Dre is going to be a force to be reckoned with, man. Along with Bray, along with Xavier Mincy.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
I think the experience that Xavier Brown got. This kid's gonna be an All-American before it's over with. You watch that kid, that experience he got as a true freshman coming out here starting. Kid
yeah,
not gonna be rattled in no environment. To play in
that's
some of
right.
the games he played in. That
Mm-hmm.
kid is gonna be extremely good. To have him and
Yeah,
Damani back is outstanding. I look for this defense as a whole. I understand they had their struggles down the stretch. I totally understand. Couldn't stop the run against Michigan. I get it when they didn't even really throw the ball. But I really believe with the core people they have coming back, I really, really believe in the way we ended last season. I really believe these guys are going to come out with a chip on their shoulder. I think they practicing hard. I think they understand what's at stake. And we got a lot of those good kind of problems in the secondary. It's just going to be interesting to see who goes where outside of the two corners. I know Brinsky loves Xavier Mincy, right? probably one of the most talented kids on the team as far as individual talent. I understand the young kid who got hurt from Michigan. What's his name? The young kid from Michigan who got hurt.
Saab.
Yeah,
Keon
Keon Saab.
Definitely.
I like his ball hogging. I understand it gets him in trouble sometimes. I love Bray. I think Bray is physical, especially from hash mark to line of scrimmage. This kid is a thumper. He will hit you. He can cover. We just got a lot of options, man. And it's gonna be really interesting to see how they use all these kids.
Yeah.
That's going to help our pass rush statistics too, I believe.
Right.
Yep.
With these guys obviously having better communication in the back end, that's going to give the pass rush a little bit more time to get there, to get home. We didn't,
Oh,
initially we didn't think we were going to have that last year, the kind of coverage kind of skill, but these guys, the core of them is coming back. They played a whole year of football in the SEC. They lost some really tough games.
Yes.
Okay, which going to make you better because you're going to remember those a
Oh
lot
yeah.
more than than beating
Oh
Western
yeah.
Kentucky. Okay,
Oh yeah.
you're going to remember that Oklahoma game. Okay, you're going to remember that Vanderbilt game.
Yes,
Okay,
you are. Yeah.
okay? You're going to remember that Tennessee game you should have won. Okay,
Yes.
all right, you're going to remember that game. You're going to remember that Michigan game. You're going to remember every loss last year. Those guys going to remember. Okay,
and
That's a fact.
a lot of those games they play at home too.
that's right.
So best believe Kane Womack is definitely taking notes on that game. Like, hey, y'all remember what y'all did last year?
But I
Like,
hope he learns too, though, man. I hope
yep,
he understands in the SEC. It was a learning experience for him as well, right? Kane played in the SEC at Arkansas. He understands this league, but the league has changed since he came in.
It does. It
Um,
does.
a lot of the principle, like the Michigan game, a lot of those, I get what he was trying to do, but for a team to not throw the football and be able to move it like that, you got to get your personnel right. You got to get your packages right. You got to have everything lined up in this league, man, because teams will exploit you. It's some very, very good coaches in the country, man, that's still coaching college football. I like Michigan's coaches because to see what those guys did with what they had, I got a lot of respect for what Michigan did. Just about probably even more than Ohio State. I
yep,
like Michigan shouldn't have won some of the games they won, but their coaching staff took what they had and perfected what they done. They are the epitome of what identity means. Those guys know
Agree.
exactly they knew exactly what they did well,
Agree.
and more importantly, they knew what they didn't do well, right?
yep,
And they still was able to watch film and put together a great game plan for Alabama again, beating us twice in a full year's calendar.
yeah. And
That's
that
right.
night,
That's right.
that was probably worse that they was gonna be because they lost everybody from that national championship team.
Everybody, yeah,
And the guys that they did return, Mason Graham and Will Johnson, they would just sit out. That's going to be top draft picks in this year's NFL draft. So yeah, man, it's gonna be an interesting year for Alabama. I think everybody had a learned experience last year. I believe Coach DeBoer is just
yeah,
he's more comfortable this year. You can see he walking with a certain swagger this year. Like it's basically my team. It's just like one of the things that I think gets overlooked a lot is that him keeping Jalen Milroe in the starting lineup because Jalen really kept that team there, and it was just a loyalty factor there. So you didn't want to just pull him. That shows you, even in the worst times, he's not going to. That I believe those players would trust that. Like even at Jalen's worst, he still trusted him. And those players going to remember that, like, oh, he's not going to easily give up on me. But I believe at the same time, a lot of those guys see, like, I'm gonna have to earn it because all the thing he gonna do is just keep bringing in more dogs, and we see how they recruit. We already know they can develop talent because you can see when they was at Washington, what type of guys that they got out of 2 stars and 3 stars that turned into first round draft picks, second round draft picks. So imagine they got all the resources that they have now in Alabama. What they gonna turn into? Turn these 5 stars and 4 and 5 stars into superstars. So it's very big. It's a very, very bright future for Alabama right now. So I hope that we take full advantage of it because this is some major things going on.
You know what I like though, and Coach Al, me and him probably talked about this. I probably talked about this with Coach Al probably more than anybody. I like the fact that Grub, when you watch Grub, this guy understand. My only beef with Nick Sheridan, my only beef with him was situational play calling. Some of the situations,
Yep.
and some of the plays we ran in, some of the situations was like make you scratch your head. Grub understands situational play calling, especially in congruence with your roster, the kind of personnel you got, right? Matching what you do on third down. Well, I got such and such. I can, this guy know how to draw up plays that'll make us probably a little bit more efficient in situations, man. That was my only beef. Some of the situational play calling was very strange at times. It was very predictable at times. And it allowed us to be outcoached at times. It allowed our offense to be in a bottle. And I mean, look no farther than the Michigan game. Michigan, when you really look at what those guys did, these guys, they didn't do anything special. Again, they just lined up, did what they do best, didn't try to think outside the box, and did it well. And they end up beating us, right? In a sloppy game. But that's what I'm most proud of as far as a whole. The talent we have, some of these young men that we have on the roster will get an opportunity to play with a coordinator that really understands how to attack defensive. And this will help Nick Sheridan as well down the road.
Exactly. 100%. 100%. I also think that we also talk about continuity, communication. We always talk about those kind of things and chemistry. I think with Nick Sheridan staying over, there's going to be that continuity, chemistry, and communication carry over, and he's going to be coaching quarterbacks. Okay, so that can't do nothing but make you better. Nick Grubb coming in, Sheridan already trusts him, so he can still be himself. He knows Sheridan, so Grubb can be himself. At the same token, it's going to allow Grubb to actually go in and work with Coach Cap with the offensive line.
Offensive line, yeah.
It's going to help Coach Cap understand the offense a lot better, from a situational standpoint. So all in all, I think overall, I think we'll see a better product come out of our team this year just because of the continuity we have on the staff. The talent is obviously there. Bama got a top 5 roster in the country. Ain't no question about it. One name I want to bring up, Brinsky, a little bit is Jamarian Latham. Okay. Yeah. I'm hearing some good things about Jamarian Latham because he's moving over to the Wolf. He's dropped some weight. Okay. So what happens is now you got a guy that can, in certain sub packages, that can play the Wolf, that can still hold that edge.
Yeah.
He don't get just pushed off the ball. So it means that our run game defense with him in there, and I heard Quay has lost a little weight too. So he's a little quicker. Okay. So it's going to be very interesting to see what our sub packages look like on defense because the linebacker room, I think, is going to be stout. Okay. We lost Jihad. He's a first round draft pick. He's a pro. It always hurts when you lose a pro. But it's a good thing that Jefferson came back because he was starting to play some really good football. I think that with Devontae coming back, he can afford to get healthy now. And with that Green guy, N'Keal Green, he's played a ton of football. Okay. And I like some of the newts that Luke Metz got coming in there, man.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm telling you, losing Justin Okonkwo, that hurt. That really hurt. But I like the move with Jamarian Latham moving over to Wolf, is what I'm trying to say. Because he's an experienced player, but in certain sub packages, it's going to allow us to really play a 4-down look.
Facts.
because he knows the defensive end game. He knows he can play a 5 technique, he can play 3 technique.
Three
So he
technique,
ain't gonna
yeah.
get pushed off. He gonna be able to hold that point, and we're gonna squeeze you. So that defense this year, man, even if in a 4-2-5, you put Jamarian Latham in there as a wolf, you basically got 2 bandits on the field.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? In certain situations, that guy right there he's gonna have a pretty good year, I think.
And he
Because
letting Kelby play. And Kelby a big dude. Kelby Collins a big dude.
Kelvin
Kelby can
Collins
play inside
slide down
and
the
out.
3, man. And Keon Keeley, I understand, is getting a lot of love this year, man. That kid probably maybe the light he done finally clicked on him that
Yeah.
hey, I'm putting it together. I'm physically strong now. Now it's time for me to
Yeah.
be that guy. So defensively wise, I just think we may have one of statistically great Alabama defenses that we ain't seen in a long time. I'm going
I
out there
know,
putting it out there right now.
I know before we move on, just want to give a shout out to our guy Jay at Unfair Sports, showing love, dropping by, doing major things, man. One of the most popular guys in college football. Shout out to
Jay,
our guy over there in Oklahoma. We still go beat the hell out of y'all when y'all come to Tuscaloosa. Now. We owe y'all that ass whooping. I'm sorry. I still can't get over that while y'all trying to be all bashful. And
He
like,
said, I need you.
we don't know we gonna survive big bad Bama. BS.
Yeah.
Y'all wasn't fooling nobody, and y'all be down behind. Didn't make me that mad because I knew y'all was gonna try to give it y'all. But we got one for y'all when y'all come. Pause. but but definitely I'm glad you started talking about linebackers because I don't exactly laugh my ass off. No. I did oh, oh no. We gonna see y'all. We got one for you, my brother. But we'll talk about the linebackers and
Linebackers, yeah.
Justin Jefferson. I'm glad you got touched on that subject because it's gonna be interesting. I think that's one of the weakest parts of our defense right now. But at the same time, like that says a lot because they're strong too, but it's more questionable there than I believe anywhere else on the defense. Some folks may say defensive line, possibly, probably need some more depth there. Probably go through the transfer portal to get some depth there. Ain't no telling. So I'm really, really interested to see how these, especially at that Mike linebacker spot.
Hey, don't look now. But Nikhil Hill Green, however he said, that kid is a thumper, man. This kid made all conference. This kid, the run game and the short passing game, this kid excelled in it, man. Cam Calhoun, Nikhil Greenhill, those 2 kids will have a huge role in the defense. You watch.
You're right, Coach. What was the guy name? The cornerback that came over from Louisiana and then transferred to
Trey
Ole Miss.
Amos.
Trey Classic.
Yeah.
Okay. And the kid that transferred from UAB started he was Mr. Irrelevant.
Jalen.
He came in and started every game.
Yeah,
Wow.
Jalen Keys, I think he was. Jalen
Right.
Keys.
Because he had experience. I mean, experienced players. Even Deshaun, we came over last year from Wake Forest. He
That's
worked
a whole
his way on
fact.
the field because of experience, man. When you come in, you got well, you know how it is, Sean. You've been there on the field. You know you belong on the field.
Yeah, your confidence is different.
You're gonna play like
and I'll tell you this.
The system, you get the system now, you get all the calls right, and you just start to get in your bag. It's football.
And remember this, man. With this kid Nikhil, filling and gap integrity would not be a problem for this kid. If you go back and look at this all downhill, he is a straight thumper. He feels with some authority. It's none of that tippy toe. This kid come down. He trying to lay the wood, man.
Yeah, played a lot of football.
A lot of football,
man, and that's something you just cannot take away from a player of his caliber. If he's played a lot of football, he's seen a lot of snaps. It ain't nothing he ain't seen.
Yep, and all these kids,
Yeah.
we'll have an opportunity because there's a lot of injuries, a lot of people sitting out. So these kids are gonna have a big opportunity in the spring to make their mark.
That's
Shout out
right.
to Ebony.
And
There
there
she
she
is.
go.
Don't
We
forget April 11th.
We will be there. I will be
like,
there.
I will be there too. We are in the
Yes.
building for the Alabama Crimson Tide. I think she just said it wasn't a birthday party; it's just a party.
Yeah.
So we will definitely be in the building drinking, fellowshipping. I know I will be drinking. And definitely fellowshipping.
Definitely fellowship.
And definitely can't wait to see everybody that's up there and showing love, especially because y'all show love to us on the
Facts.
YouTube, giving us a reason to get on here and have pretty much a second career up here. So definitely appreciate y'all. Can't wait to see y'all up there too.
Facts.
But since I think we tackle every position on the field for the most part, gentlemen. Now
Yeah.
it's time. Like I said, shout out to the people at the Bama Standard, man. Shout out to all those guys, Justin Riley, those boys, man. Y'all do a
Yeah.
fantastic job.
Outstanding job. Yeah.
Love everything that y'all do.
Facts.
Even when y'all piss me off with certain lists that y'all be putting out, man. It's all love, but y'all be pissing me off, especially Smoke. Shout out to him, man. Oh my God, Smoke pisses me off so much. But this list, I see that they had the top 5 wide receivers. They did a top 5 wide receiver. I see them do a top 5 quarterbacks too. But I know we're gonna do top 5 wide receivers and quarterbacks tonight. But we're gonna tackle everywhere before the spring game. So we're gonna have our top 5 everything. But this is since 1990. I believe everything with these two positions are the best of the best since 1990. So we're gonna go right there. So either one of y'all can go first or I can go first. It don't matter.
Go ahead,
Whoever,
Coach A.
and we can start with whatever position y'all want to start with. We can start with quarterbacks first, or we can start with wide receivers.
Oh, Sean?
You go ahead, Coach A. You go ahead, my brother.
Okay. All right. So, all right. In no
Which one we
particular
start
order.
with?
In no particular order. Okay. Wide receivers. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wide receivers. Okay. All right. I had to write it down. Give me a second. Okay. This guy here is this is with an asterisk, okay? Because you said from 90s on up, but one name that since I'm an OG, he's an Alabama guy. Is Ozzie Newsome.
Yeah.
I
Facts.
gotta put Ozzie out there, man, because
Okay.
Ozzie was a guy that came in back in the day as a freshman when freshmen didn't play. Okay. And was just dominating people. So he doesn't get a lot of love, to me, as one of the all-time Alabama great receivers. And he went on to establish himself as an all-pro tight end. He made a conversion from wide receiver to tight end and to GM. The guy is just great, man. I remember he used to come over when I went to high school at Druid in Tuscaloosa. Ozzie and those guys would come over to that side of town, man, and hang out with us. You know what I mean? And we saw them; they were just good guys, man. But my since 1990, I had to depart. I got Julio, right?
Fact.
I got Calvin Ridley. Okay, I got the Deuce, David Palmer.
Boom. Right there.
Okay. I got Amari Cooper.
Yep.
Okay, and of course the Slim Reaper.
Slim Reaper. Yep.
Of course, himself.
Hey, that's
I
not
mean,
that's not a bad list at all.
That's a whole fact.
That's not a bad list at
That's
all.
a whole fact. Very similar. Very similar, man. I love Coach Al's list. And remember, when we do these lists, I hope everybody watch. This list is practically, I know Brent can say from what, 1990, but it's more geared toward who we have seen, right?
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
For me, number 5, I put numbers on mine. Number 5 is DJ Hall.
Oh
A lot of people
yeah.
don't remember DJ
I believe-
Oh
Hall.
yeah.
I'm bad.
DJ
Oh
was
yeah.
a damn monster. This boy would
That's
go up
right.
there, and if DJ Hall had played in this era of football,
Oh man.
look
Man.
out. I had to argue between DJ and Marquise, man. Love Marquise Mays, a
Yes.
dog, a pit bull in a human's body, period. Right? It was DJ Hall. If Marquise hadn't played with Julio, it would have been even bigger for him. But DJ Hall, number 5. I went with Mark Cooper at number 4. Um, for me, this guy I competed against in real life, a few years older than me, but I never forget going against Jackson Olin. And this kid was, man, he was like a midget, but this dude was absolutely the most electrifying dude I've ever seen wear an Alabama uniform. I ran a 100-meter dash. I was just a freshman, ran a 100-meter dash against this dude, and he was absolutely a straight monster. Y'all need to go Google the Deuce, David Palmer.
He's on the loose.
I could easily put this dude at number 1 in my lifetime because this dude played quarterback, punt returner, wide receiver. When the quarterbacks all got hurt, go look at the Tennessee game from 93, I think it was. This kid threw for 100-some yards, rushed for 100-some yards. I mean, he was absolutely the most electrifying Bama player I've ever saw. But as far as wide receiver, he's at my number 3. Number 2 is Devontae Smith. And I say Devontae because I watched Devontae run every route on the route tree and dominate his opponent. I can't say that about Coop, 9 routes. Coop didn't catch a lot of crosses. Coop would burn you to death on the 9s, the hitches, the hitching goals, digs. Yeah. Devontae, it didn't matter if it was a 12, 10 to 12, 10 to 12, 13, 14, whatever yard dig. It didn't matter if it was a crosser. It didn't matter if it was this kid could run the entire route tree and whoop you. You could not play man on him or you was going to pay. Go ask Ohio State, 250 yards at halftime receiving. Devontae Smith is my number 2 and my number 1. Facts. My number 1, just like DJ Hall, if this guy had played in this era of football, it's got to be the Godfather himself, man. In my era, Julio Jones. If the other Bama receivers tell you Julio is the best, who am I to argue with them? Right? Love Calvin, love Jalen Waddle, but that's my 5. DJ Hall, Amari Cooper, David Palmer, the Devontae Smith, and Julio Jones.
Hey, I'm not mad at that list either. I cheated a little bit. I added 3 honorable mentions. Just 3. Just 3.
I was gonna follow that up with one, but since you beat me to it.
If y'all have some too, you can mention them too. My bad. Yeah, I got J-Mo as an honorable mention. I love J-Mo. Calvin is an honorable mention.
Love J-Mo.
I feel like if Calvin, if he had the opportunity to really play with Tua, I believe Calvin will be breaking records.
Yeah, J-Mo too. J-Mo too. If J-Mo can't play the Bama all 3 or 4 years, you might be talking about that kid in the record books of most receiving yards.
That's right.
Touchdown.
That kid. Too. Yeah, that boy.
Tyrone Pothrow, pre-injury, was a monster. Him and DJ Hall. Man. Oh my goodness, bro. That is like me growing up. But my top 5 is, one of them is just super biased. I'm sorry. I had to put him in there because he's still one of my favorites. And if I see him in real life, I'm going to take a picture with him, shake his hand, and let him know he's still one of my favorite players. Not receivers, but players to ever play at Alabama. But he's at 4. But at 5, I got Judy. Judy at 5, man. Best route runner.
Yes.
Oh my God!
Like Devontae Smith said, in Florida, boys got good knees.
Cool too.
Boys got good knees, boy.
Number 4, DJ Hall. Had the jersey. Wanted to be like him.
That meant facts.
Loved everything about DJ Hall, man.
Yeah.
Just the only thing I wish he could have did was just beat Auburn, just one time, so he could at least say that. That's the only flaw.
I wish he had a quarterback.
That's a whole other thing. No, we gonna get on that era.
Yeah,
Shout out to Brody Crow.
Shout out
Number
to
3, I got Coop. Coop is just amazing, man. From freshman year all the way into junior year, cooking your best quarterback. When they had what's his name? That was playing at Florida. Uh, he had a career day against him.
Corner.
Uh-huh. Hard.
I know what you're talking about.
Joe Hayden.
No, not Joe Hayden.
That's what I was gonna
Nobody
say.
was cooking Joe Hayden.
Yeah.
What's his name? I have to come back to
Cromartie?
him.
Not Cromartie.
He was like the number one corner, but he was a dog in college, but he didn't do too much in the NFL. I forgot his name just there. Florida. During that time against him and Coop.
What team did he play
Hargraves.
for?
There you go.
Hargraves. Okay, Vernon
Yeah.
Hargraves.
Vernon Hargraves. That's right. Vernon
Thank
Hargraves.
you.
Right.
Thank you, Jay Cloud, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, brother.
Yeah.
The four horsemen: Waddle, Smitty, Judy, Ruggs. I think all those guys,
all of them,
are together. I love those guys.
Best
man.
group as a collective. I think we've had.
Easy.
Rydeout,
it ain't even close. It's not even close.
Facts.
Number two, that you can go stats wise. I always just say stat wise, Smitty, but he's my number two. I love Smitty and everything that Smitty represents. Smitty is just a winner, man. I love everything about
the run any route. Any route.
And finally, the first, even though Jalen is a Alabama graduate, which they don't want to get, but position player. Finally, we had a position player to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. So shout out to Smitty. And I'm glad he was the first one to do it. I'm so glad he was the first one to do it. But number one, without a doubt, he's only a year older than me. Seen it in person, Julio Jones. I just couldn't believe what I see.
Gotta go with Julio.
Julio Jones.
He is literally the foundation to this whole Alabama dynasty.
That's right.
Yeah. He is the foundational player. So whenever you just think about this dynasty, just go back to his commitment day and just watch him put on the hat. That is the foundational piece to this whole dynasty.
I agree with that.
Every last one of these players will believe that if he had a quarterback that really, if he had a Tua, Bryce,
Julio, man,
these records would be no records.
Gone.
It was all his.
Gone, bro.
Yep. And I would say this: if he had a quarterback,
yes, he would have
in the NFL that they made MVP. I don't know how you throw somebody of the caliber of Julio Jones the ball 4 times in the Super Bowl, which he caught all 4, had the game winning catch for you, and you still find a way to lose it. My boy
was dominant for just about a decade. Damn near dominant. You know,
don't want to throw it to him to have touchdowns. Like, I don't know how you have Julio Jones and don't throw the ball. Shout out to Matthew Stafford.
I want to give love to reason why J-Mo didn't make my list. I want to give love to J-Mo, who might have been just as exciting as anybody. That one season that boy was at Bama. If J-Mo had played at Bama, he was only that one season. If you want to go who had the best season, he would be in my top 5. But if J-Mo had played at Bama like these other kids did in multiple years, I would have no choice but to put him in there somewhere, man.
That's right.
That kid, going, but he was very similar to Coop. Deep routes. This kid, you can't stay with him. Even now in Detroit, you see deep routes.
That's right.
Rarely do you see people staying with this kid, man.
That's right.
But when you look at
his impact showed in the national championship game.
He did it, man.
If we had him, ball game,
bro. Yeah. They could not cover that man. He knew it.
That's right.
No,
and we know somebody who has sure hands. So,
for me, brother, and I'll end it with this: Judy, Waddle. You could go any of those guys. Marquise Mays. I love Marquise Mays. That kid was
oh my God! How did I forget Mays, man?
Man, we've had some very, very lucky to have these guys. Just surefire dudes, man.
Kevin Norwood
was awesome.
Norwood. Solid
That boy
player, man.
go up and get the ball, man. Go up and get that thing, man. So
Make
Them
we got
tough.
some
all-star heroes right there for real.
great receivers, bro. But them my top 5. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, what Devontae done, and it's just like Ed Ogeron said, no matter what coverage you got, you play against this guy. Like he's gonna go get it. He's not just a deep route guy. He's not just an underneath guy. He's not just a mid-level guy. This guy, he could do everything. He could do everything, man. He understood how to set the defensive back up. Complete receiver. And I got to go with him in number 2.
Yeah, he's
Facts.
definitely. Judy was my honorable mention guy, man, and
Yeah.
it's hard to leave him off the list, man, because
Facts.
he has so many great ones in there, man. Judy is a technician. He's probably out of all of them, he's probably the best route runner. Out of all of those, including Smitty.
I like Coop.
Yeah, Coop. I don't know. Coop is the kind of guy. One thing I haven't seen Coop run a lot of like today is very fashionable to run a lot of over routes.
Over routes, yeah.
What you see the Slim Reaper do that a lot. He'll kill you with them over routes, man. Mari just wasn't asked to do that, but everywhere he's gone, Amari Cooper produces at the NFL level.
Yes.
He produced when he was at Cleveland. Then you had no quarterback. Okay. I mean, so he's definitely one of my favorite of all time. And but like I say, that's a good list, man. Everybody is out there, man. It's hard to, but Julio is undisputed, number 1.
I think Julio is undisputed by
Julio,
everybody.
He's
Huggy Beard, what's up, bro?
Huggy Beard, what's going on? We don't
who high points the football as better than Devontae Smith on a deep ball? Going up and get that thing, no matter what coverage it is.
Right. If he hadn't broken his finger in the championship game, I don't know how many catches he would have had. Because
look at the catch he made in the goal.
Right. He broke his finger, man. If he hadn't broken his finger, we probably had 15 catches in that game.
Do you remember the catch against Georgia where he caught the ball and toe tapped and stayed in bounds?
Yes, sir.
The catch against LSU in the COVID year in the back of the end zone.
Right in the back of the end zone, man.
That dude, man.
Picking your best quarterback. Cooking
him, man. Corner, yeah.
Matter of fact, the man that just got paid today, Derek Staley, $100 million man, getting cooked.
Yeah.
Cooked.
Right.
Yeah, Vontae was doing him dirty, man. Doing him dirty. I mean, I say 200. He had 200 some yards against him receiving.
Right. Exactly.
So, Tua just throw that thing up there and Vontae go up there and get it, man.
2nd and 26.
Yeah, Vontae go up there and get it. So you got to put Devontae up there over all besides the Godfather himself. And I'm only doing that because Devontae put Julio at number 1. He was on the show with Slay.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. I used to watch Julio with the Falcons, season ticket holder, going and watching them games, and how many times Matt Ryan underthrew Julio. Because when you're at the game, I'm not watching the football. I don't watch. If I'm at a game, I don't watch it like they force us to watch it on TV.
On TV, yeah.
Okay. It pisses me off the way they cover football on TV. They force you to follow the ball, and that's not the game. Okay.
Facts.
And when I'm at the game, I'm watching Julio when they're not throwing him the ball, and how he's beating guys, how he's setting guys up, even if the ball don't go to him. Okay. He's playing mind games because Julio could run every route that was.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And he can outrun you. So how can you play the guy?
Yep.
You know what I mean? By the way, he had like a 40-something, 44-inch, 42, 43-inch vertical.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the first pictures you ever seen with guys catching a one-handed catch was Julio Jones at Alabama in the air in the pregame with that one hand. He was up in the air like 40-some 6 inches in the air and catching the ball with one hand. That was the first guy I ever seen do that. Before what's your boy? What's his name? The guy from LSU. He made it. He was with the Giants when he made that one hand catch, and then everybody else started doing it.
Oh yeah, Odell, yeah.
Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Odell Beckham started doing it, now you saw everybody started doing a one hand catch. They started practicing that stuff. Julio did that way back in the day.
I think the best athlete we've had at wide receiver, just pure athlete, might have been Henry Ruggs, though.
Without a doubt.
That
Man,
boy, y'all should go watch his basketball. This
it's
boy coming from
basketball. Yeah.
like, yeah, what kind of vertical did this boy have?
Yeah.
Like,
He's dunking
this
on
boy,
everybody.
yeah, Henry
Yeah.
Ruggs was different.
Now, one of the definitely had to say could have a top 5 safety, could have top 5 quarter. Had to have just straight DBs all together, Borstead together. Gentlemen, what is your top 5 DBs ever at Alabama? Top
Man, that's
5.
tough, bro. That's tough,
I
man.
need to know what's your top 5. Chat, I need to know what y'all top 5 is too. Please put them in the chat. I need to know what your top 5 is. And like I said, I definitely got this from the Bama Status. Shout out to those brothers over there. But some of their listeners would make it be bad. But definitely.
top 5 DBs, no matter what position.
I can start off for y'all if y'all want me to.
Let me go, Brinsky. Let me go,
Oh,
so
go
I can
ahead,
get mine out the way.
Go ahead.
Let me. I
And you
ain't
can
put
do
these.
audible mention. And you can do audible mentions.
Okay, I didn't put these in no order, right?
Woo.
But this is my favorite DB of all time. Not only because I know him, because he played in my time, and for his time, he was a dog, bro. He was older than me, but we used to look up to these boys, man. We used to look up to these boys. Man coverage, this boy was the man. Give me Antonio Langham. I don't care. Give me Langham, bro. Give me Antonio all day and twice on Sunday. Antonio Langham for me. Minka Fitzpatrick, Patrick Surtain. I love Ha Clinton Dix. And give me the range, the long, lanky range and long striding foot speed of George Teague. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give me George Teague back there on the hash, bro. And them long strides, man. Anybody can walk Lamar Thompson down like that and take the ball. I got to put George there, bro. George, Pat Surtain, Minka, and Antonio Langham for me.
Okay, all right. So wow, that's strong, man. That's strong. That's strong. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go like this. I guess because he hadn't been there long enough, I'm not gonna put him at the top. But I'm gonna go with Marlon Humphreys.
Marlon, see, I put about Marlon.
I'm going Marlon Humphreys at number 1. Okay.
Over Minka? Ooh.
Yeah, oh yeah. Why I say that?
Secondary, by the way. Secondary.
Because Marlon Humphreys is moved from the outside. Now he's in the inside playing the slot, locking jokers down. He's versatile, and I think he's just a more pure corner kind of guy than Minka. Minka is a great football player.
Yeah.
Okay. They just don't come no better than that. Minka at number 2. Okay. Right there. My kind of guy, because I liked his game, was Clinton Dix. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Love Ha, man.
At 3. Then Patrick Surtain, obviously, at 4. Okay.
Yeah.
And just one of my favorite players. I just liked him as a DB. He's not gonna get a lot of the top 5 Alabama DB, but my dude Eddie Jackson, I just like his game. He's a freaking ball hawk. And
people forget.
Yeah.
It was a cornerback who was very stiff-hipped.
Right.
Sammy Coates had probably 200 yards against him against Auburn.
Right.
That was the worst thing Eddie ever had, right?
Yeah.
They took Eddie off the corner, put him back there on the hash, and he had an absolute. He went all pro.
He's all pro. So he's just one of my. I like his game. Is what I'm saying. Some players you just like the game, and he's a player. I just liked his game because he was just a ball hawking kind of dude. One dude that we talked about in our current roster. Excuse me, sorry about that. On our current roster, Xavier, and then Dijon Lee. Talk about Dijon Lee. I kind of look at him like a Richard Sherman kind of dude. Tall guy, long arms, very physical. Richard Sherman was that kind of physical
Yeah.
man up. He'd lock you up. He wasn't no zone kind of guy.
Facts.
Bijan Lee kind of put me into that mindset. I just had to throw it in there. So he was talking DBs. You know, we'll see if he can live up to that. Okay.
Yeah, I pray to God that he lives up to it. I hope he's top 5 in the top 5 when it's all said and done, if not the best. But he got a lot to live up to, so we're gonna see how that goes. But
yeah,
so many names. I see James got in there, a name that nobody has said. Vinny Sincere. Oh my God, I love Vinny back there.
I love Vinny, but him and Landon was Colin was sort of the same. They were susceptible in the pass game to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to Landon too.
Like
HaHa was definitely my guy. That lets you know how good HaHa was. Of course, I really don't know, man. Definitely Marlon's in my top 5.
Yeah, Marlon.
I love Marlon.
Physical too.
PS2 is definitely, I would say he's number 2. But he definitely was robbed of a Jim Thorpe Award.
Robbed, bro.
I can't even remember the guy's name, but he went to TCU. They gave him that award. Still pisses me off to this day. Like, I don't know how you give. I'm not even gonna go there. Whoever was voting that year, they need to revoke their voting privileges, because I do not like them at all for that.
Yeah.
Hands down, Mika is number 1. Just everything he's meant to Alabama. One of Nick Saban's favorite players.
Remember, he came to Bama as a corner.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
And then made the best career move ever to go to safety, and the rest is history. Going to be
he'll be Hall of Fame.
Going to be a Hall of Famer.
They forget about my boy, man. Y'all go back and watch the SEC championship. Antonio, Javier too. Javier Arenas, Drake Kirkpatrick, all those guys. Great. But y'all need to go watch Antonio Langham, that interception against Florida, or the interception against Auburn.
One of the most important plays of SEC.
And really got out from Miami and stripping the ball from.
Yep. That's George T.
No, that's George T.
That's George T.
Yeah.
George wasn't flashy, but George was like Eddie Jackson. He had range, bro.
Range, man.
That cat, big long strider. George had range. He was physical. George would knock your block off or hurt himself trying to knock your block off.
That's right.
So we that was the team we used to look up to. I got a chance to meet George at A-Day, took a picture with him. It's on my Twitter. You couldn't tell me I wasn't Sherman Williams, boy. At A&M. I just played in the A&M jersey. You couldn't tell me I wasn't Sherman Williams. I copied Sherman Shake and all. That was me all day. My homeboy Dave, he was David Palmer. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't tell us we wasn't them boys, man. So I will always show love to Antonio, to Minka, to Pat Surtain, to HaHa Clint Dix, and to George T. Them my boys.
Man, this is DBU for a reason, man. Let me take that back. I lied. NFL for a reason.
True.
Man, I love everything about it. Pat Surtain definitely go down as one of the best quarters in NFL history. And I might want to point out, just a little side note, this is the reason why you pay your players early. Because you just see the money that they just paid Darius Stingley. Imagine if they did pay Pat Surtain last year. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. That contract would be enormous right now, especially with a defensive player of the year.
Remember, and Pat can play either side of the field. He can play man, can play zone. This kid, talent-wise, possibly may be the best corner to play at Alabama.
Easy.
Arguably.
So nobody's showing Kool-Aid any love, man.
Shout out to Kool-Aid.
Shout out to Kool-Aid.
But this list is hard, man. This list is hard to make, man.
The thing about it, nobody threw a Kool-Aid, man. They wouldn't throw it.
Yeah.
They were not targeted. Kool-Aid, if it was strictly off the production and the numbers, he wouldn't have been. Now, if he hadn't had that injury in his foot, he would have been first round.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't even know he had. He played with it. but they would
Yeah.
not throw it. Nobody would throw it at Kool-Aid, man. You know, I mean, he had no stats. You know, what I mean,
All
it's
right.
hard to get stats.
So
They're not doing it.
Kool-Aid or Marlon?
Kool-Aid or
Marlon.
Marlon? Marlon hands
Marlon.
down. Marlon,
Kool-Aid
yeah.
or Minka?
Minka hands down.
Kool-Aid or Pat Surtain?
Come on now. Come on now.
See, I like Antonio Langham better than all of them, though. You know, and that might be my bias, right?
Oh,
but
everybody
Tonio,
got their bias. It's okay. It's okay.
Antonio, man, that boy from little small town Hazelwood, all them boys could play ball. People forget how good they was in football. And I challenge y'all to find a better football team that had Terrence Lynch. Man, I went to school with his cousin Aaron. Shout out to Aaron Gould, Hopkins Hall boy. Right there. Man, look, me and Aaron stay right across the hall from each other. Listen. Yeah, Aaron, shout out to Aaron. Saputo. You know what I mean by Saputo. That's Aaron's where Aaron is now. You know, Aaron stay right across the hall from Aaron. They whole family, even the mama could play football, bro. Everybody, the whole damn family. You're not understanding. Chris Harris, Chris Hood, all them boys, man. They just was born athletes, man. And look, they 4x1 team. They was a 2A school, smoking 7A school. I remember they beat, and Emma Sampson was good that year. And they beat Emma Sampson like a drum.
I remember Sampson,
And they beat them like a drum. Them boys at Hazelwood play both ways. You know what I mean? And couldn't nobody do nothing with them boys, man.
Yeah.
They just don't make them like them Cortland and Hazelwood boys no more. They don't make them like that anymore. Y'all need to go do y'all research on Cortland. We used to call it Town Creek in Hazelwood.
Town Creek, right? That's right. Yeah.
Man, them boys was, man, look, we didn't even like, folks didn't even like playing against them boys, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Them dudes was different. I promise you they were different.
Pipeline coming out of Town Creek, man.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Man. See, you get a little history lesson. Even I learned some stuff too, folks. I don't know it all. I definitely learned from these brothers. You gotta know your history. You gotta know your history.
Yeah.
So shout out to David Palmer, Papa Cherry. If you know, you know. Yeah, you know. B-Ham.
That's why I said, man. Shout out to all these brothers, and hopefully, get them on the show one day so we can get them their flowers.
Hold on, Brinsky. Before you go, I gotta say this really quickly.
Go ahead, please.
Out of all the athletes we named, is one. If you talking about pure athletic speed, and I want y'all to go ask George Teague about this. If y'all ever on George Teague's channel, if you talking about pure speed, no, Chris Anderson was fast. I seen him up here in Huntsville personally, fast. Sherman Williams, 100-meter dash, Blount County, fast. But when you talking about fast with an extra fast on it, go ask George Teague about Kevin Lee. He played receiver at Alabama. I think he was number 37. Kevin Lee, bro, that dude was, man, Viger High School out of Mobile.
Viger's out of Mobile.
Man, look, go ask any athlete from back then about, they call him K Lee. Go ask about Kevin Lee. That boy is so damn fast, it didn't make no sense.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, Kevin 37, Kevin Lee. Yeah,
that boy was different. I'm telling y'all. I remember George said he had a tag on his car or vehicle said 4-3.
Legitimate.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That boy was different, man.
All these guys come out of high school, say they run 4-3, and then you get to the combine and you don't have that many guys running 4-3. All of a sudden everybody getting slower or something. What's up with that?
Tell you one that didn't lie, Henry Ruggs. That boy was different.
You forgot about D Builder. D Builder is definitely up there, dog.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kareem Jackson.
Yeah, D was nice too. Yeah, he was nice. I'm surprised he didn't stick up in the league as long as he did, man. He went to the Jets.
Achilles, it was over.
Yeah.
He couldn't. It was different for him after that. I had that same injury, that Achilles injury, man. It's over with after that, man.
That range of motion through that, man. You know.
Yeah, I got a 9-inch scar on the back of my heel right now because of that. Yep.
Yeah.
Facts.
Definitely appreciate everybody jumping on tonight, showing love, especially with this top 5 debate. Y'all see how we did with this one. You get a history lesson. You learn other players. Even I learned some guys that I have to research tonight. Learn some more about them. We go. The next time probably do linebackers. Linebackers probably one of my favorites because it's so
definitely got to do linebackers.
I can just tell you, it's already never mind. It's two guys that are definitely up there. One of them
Probably gonna
should
be
be
on
in the Hall of
everybody's.
Fame right now. I don't know what's going on. Kadeem
Facts.
said it should be in the
Facts.
Hall of Fame right now. I don't know what's up with that, but they need to fix that. But it's 1 and 2. I believe they 1 and 2 in Alabama history, and both of them
DT.
Hall of Famers. And
Yeah.
both of I didn't want them. Some folks know you ain't even got to speak that name up.
Yeah.
They know who number 1 is. They know it shouldn't even be no question.
Yeah.
But we should do linebackers, and I want running backs to just be a whole, just one separate one by itself.
Yeah.
Because that one is just going to be.
That'd be a deep. That'll be a deep. I bet you that one. All of our stuff be totally different.
It's gonna be totally different. It's gonna be totally different. Matter of
Running
fact,
backs and linebackers. Facts.
there you go. This week, everybody, running backs and linebackers. I guarantee you, we ain't gonna share nothing with each other until that moment.
Yeah.
So hopefully we have time. Hopefully we have all the fellas up here because I want to see how different our opinions is. Because pretty much on the wide receivers and the DBs, we pretty much was the same. I believe running backs, we are
running backs. It won't be
all
the same.
over
Fact.
the place on that. So I can't wait for that. So yeah, man, definitely appreciate you brothers coming on here. And before we go, make sure you guys shout out y'all channel because we about to get up out of here. But we're gonna start with Coach Al.
Oh, I'm just a guy who likes talking football. And
you the man.
Yeah. You can catch me on Twitter, AlSand79. That's me. And Instagram, Al.Sanders.10. That's me. Hit me up. We can talk football anytime you want. And life. Because one thing is for certain.
NFC.
Stay in the zone. Stay free. That's the negative free zone.
Yes, sir.
6 inch space between your ears. Keep it free.
Look, Bino said Coach Al needs a hoodie. Facts. Hey, BT, facts, man. I learned so much from Coach Al, man. I love my OG having him here. Really enjoy it, man. Really enjoy. Wish we could have had Coach Carl, and shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to that boy Kangaroo Black, who always have great content. Shout out to KB, man. Shout out to Bama Standards. Shout out to Ty Hayes, Coach Jan, 716, Coach Carl, Piano Man. You know, everybody, man, who John over there at Bama Standard. Everybody who tap in with us, man. These guys are absolutely awesome at what they do. Really enjoy it. Shout out to my brother Jake, all our brother Jake Merrill, wherever you at, Jake. Love you to death, bro. Still looking for you, Jake. Still need you back, brother. We love you. We miss you wherever you at, man. Holler at us, please. Yeah, man. Miss Jake for sure.
Yeah, man.
Big thank you to Brinsky and much love to Coach Carl and Coach. All our brothers and Coach, my brother Coach Al, as I said. Shout out to Ted, shout out to Jason. Shout out to shout out to Jason from Hall of Fame Sports, Coach I, everybody, man. All the Wu-Tang clans, we call them.
Oh, yeah.
But you can definitely find me, all of them, man.
Go ahead.
You can definitely find me at JMHO, just my own opinion, JMHO Sports Talk. That's on Twitter and YouTube. And shout out to Antonio Langham and them Hazelwood boys and my brother Aaron. Shout out to y'all, bro. Never be another team like y'all, boy.
Ooh, y'all heard it. Yeah, like I said, Coach Sean channel right there in the chat. If you people are not following him, please go over there. Subscribe to my brother's channel. He's definitely gonna be dropping more, especially shorts just talking about football, dealing with Alabama. So definitely go check him out. Definitely go check out Coach Al on Twitter. Definitely dropping a lot of knowledge.
Facts.
NFC, y'all already know negative free zone.
Yeah.
Facts.
We are definitely, that is definitely the motto for real over here.
Yes, sir.
And definitely shout out to everybody that Coach Sean named, man, because one thing that we all do, we love being on with one another. If one person want us to be on the show, we over there It's no ego over here. We love one another, love fellowshipping with these brothers. Especially, I love having them as me being one of the youngest ones right behind Ty and being with these men, especially black men. I learned a lot from them, especially my life. So I definitely appreciate these guys.
Yes, sir.
And I'm
Likewise.
glad to actually know these people
Facts.
outside of this. So that is a blessing in its own right there. So
Right.
definitely shout out to those brothers. Shout out to Ted. Shout out to DeHaven. Shout out to
Facts.
Jason.
Hey,
Shout out to Quit. Shout out to all those brothers, man, for showing love. I felt like I forget somebody. Oh yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. The Twitter handle is B_sharp. Subscribe to the TikTok. Gonna drop some more shorts from this episode because it was too much content dropped from this episode by Coach Sean and Coach Al. Definitely, and a special shout out to my main man Phil, which is going to be connected with these brothers. Y'all keep y'all eyes out for this brother, man. He's one of the first people I said I wanted to interview because I love Phil and who he is as a person. And I know Coach Sean and Coach Al gonna get his brother a lot of wisdom, and they gonna love him too once they get to know him, especially with his knowledge on football. And if y'all don't know, he coached what's
Cam
Cam's last name?
Coleman.
Coach Cam Coleman in high
Yeah.
school.
Okay.
So that what I
Wow.
said. He is the man. He is the man. Shout out to my boy. And y'all already know, Miss Janet already beat me to it. But I'm gonna show it anyway. Y'all already know. F them trees always. Can't stand them. I hope they lose in the tournament. I hope everything fails for them. I hope they lose to an HBCU in the tournament. That make my day. I don't care nothing about no Auburn. Nothing. Nothing. F them. Put it on a t-shirt. Somebody. F them trees that we wear it in the A-Day. You heard it here first. And as always, appreciate y'all, the people showing love. Shout out to Dwight. Shout out to Miss Janet. Shout out to Anitra. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to everybody. Coach Carl. Shout out to Larry Lord. Shout out to every last one of y'all. Appreciate y'all more than y'all will ever know.
Facts.
And as always, we are about this thing. So F Auburn and roll damn tide.